Hi everyone, welcome to Single Value. So today we're looking at Humacyte. Now it's been about 2 weeks since they've got FDA approval, though probably at least one of those weeks were probably for holidays. So we're probably expecting possibly another 4 or 5 week waiting time. Like they said about 6 weeks, but it possibly could be shorter, it possibly could be longer. So roughly we probably won't be expecting much until February, though if they do surprise us with an announcement, that'll be pretty good. So in terms of the stock, so it's at $5.10. If we look at the last 5 trading days, it's kind of like trading up and down, but staying within this $5 zone. Now if we go to the 6 months, we can kind of see like before the stock price kind of dropped quite heavily into the $4 zone and even the $3 for a moment. The stock kind of traded within this $5 area anyway, so right now it's kind of found its support where buyers are kind of happy to buy at this area, and you also have people trading it and selling it as it goes higher. People are kind of selling it back down, but it's holding within this $5 area. It would take quite a bit for it to break, so probably a capital raising would probably be one of them, and an unforeseen announcement, of course, but currently if nothing's kind of announced, I guess it kind of hovers around $5. Anything cheaper, I think people are happy to buy, and anything higher, it probably gets sold down. So until we get kind of like a positive announcement, or we have shorts covering, or expectations of an announcement possibly by the end of January or start of February, then we could see the share price start to run up. So as much as we've got support around here, we've also got like kind of a ceiling, which is around about this 570 mark. So until we hear some really good news, I guess we won't be seeing $7-8 too soon, until I guess the market is in a situation where it's kind of really skeptical around these sales. They want to see sales, at least on paper, like a contract or something, or a deal, or an announcement that sales are expected. Until then, like the market's still kind of just letting things just go off the flow, because even though it's FDA approved, the market's still skeptical and they're wanting the 6 weeks to pass first. So in terms of what happens in the 6 weeks is Humacyte and FDA are going to have a chat, and basically they're just going to go back and forth and talk about the kind of like information on this labeling. Obviously when Humacyte said 6 weeks, they possibly didn't expect the information that FDA wanted them to include. So there's a lot more information in terms of warnings that FDA kind of put on that Humacyte possibly doesn't want. So they'll probably be talking about the FDA, like talking to them about what information they really have to have on there and what they really don't have to have on the packaging. So there possibly could be some back and forths. So I don't expect that to be as straightforward. But everything else going forward, I think should be okay. So, for me, I'm willing to wait for the end of February, because I'm possibly going that potentially FDA took 2 weeks off. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, or Humacyte, their staff takes some time off. So it's really difficult with the holiday period that to get things like progressing at a good speed. I think at the moment it's just be a bit more patient. Potentially the share price could slide into the $4, but I'd say that chance is not fairly slim. I think the share price is probably going to hold relatively strong in this kind of like $5 zone. It might slightly go under, it might slightly go over, but I think it's going to hold within this area. of course, yeah, like the last trading day, we kind of saw it dip below $5, but of course it brought buyers just brought it back up. So I think for now, buyers are pretty happy to buy, and we're kind of entering a kind of like an area of like consolidation. So hopefully the next announcement is positive, and then the stock can move on to the next stage. If not, then yeah, if we do break into $4, it's going down to mid around $4.50, $4.40. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we can't judge these things. The only thing that's really going to get market excited is sales. So hopefully they start getting sales going, and if they can get Department of Defense contracts, that would be amazing. But obviously, I think even with that deal, like everything's all contingent on the labeling being sorted. So that shouldn't be the hard part, but you never know with labeling, because they both have to agree on the information that's going to be on that box or the packaging. So until they can agree, then there's going to be a lot of back and forths. Like eventually they will agree, but it depends on how long that back and forths could be. Like hopefully it's not going to be that long. But we never know, because like Humacyte might not be happy to add certain information that makes it look bad, whereas FDA goes it has to be on there. But at the end of the day, if FDA does say it has to be on there, then they'll put it on there. But it's just a matter of where Humacyte's gonna try to just go to the borderline of the most necessary information on that packaging. You can't fit it all on there at the end of the day, of course, and there's probably some that isn't as necessary, but until they go back and forth and sort it out between them, it possibly will take time. That's hence why it takes about 6 weeks, and then possibly they might have to, once they agree, then they have to change their own packaging for the product. Like it sounds like the inventory is already there, so it's just a matter of sorting the labeling, and then possibly the packaging, and then the packaging could also take another week or two. So hence why I kind of see like end of February being a kind of like a solid kind of date, being when they can actually start sales. And get inventory out. But of course, once they sort labeling out, then they can already start getting orders, and then once the packaging's all done, then they just start shipping it out. So I don't think they want to start getting orders in yet until the labeling's sorted, because it's an undefined time frame. Of course, they can start talking to all the institutions and start getting orders. But until then, obviously we just have to keep waiting. There is temptations to trade it, of course. Like there was a comment on the video that is it worth kind of like selling now and then buying back later. But like the thing is, like if it drops 10%, that's only like mid $4, and the thing is, like people would start buying at that area. So like would you risk an announcement coming and the stock going much higher just for a 10% trade? So it's just a matter of that question. Unless you see a capital raising coming, which will be damaging to the share price, obviously, then I don't think there's too many negative things to expect currently. Everything's all on the face of things. Seems alright, unless those lawsuits are also really bad, because I think the lawsuits were like 17th of January last I read anything about it. But again, that's more about disclosures, and with the management team, nothing to impede the product or the process. So apart from that, not much else that is really warranting a discussion. Let me know what is you got any comments or questions. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.